Hello guys, and welcome to another episode. Today I'll be working on this 17200.12 Seagate Barracuda. Some of you asked me on this channel, why do you keep referring to disk imaging, and just had general questions about imaging process, why it's so important, and so on and so forth. So imaging is something that I've been taught to to do ever since I got into data recovery. So it's a process where data using specialized imaging equipment gets duplicated from your failing hard drive onto a fully functional target drive, aka destination. So this unit here is the failed one. This unit here is a Toshiba that I use and I buy for targeting the disks. This has been serving me well since 2016, still passes and does a great job at providing a target for the device. So today I'm just gonna go over a couple of features using MRT Ultra, and I'll explain what are the do's and don'ts when it comes down to imaging. I had an issue where for some reason I couldn't image from channel to channel using MRT, and I don't know if this is applies to everybody who has it. So some of you that have MRT on this channel maybe can chime in, but for some reason every time I would start imaging from channel to channel, it would last for a little bit and then throw an error, even if I modify the very first sector. This is our destination. So in order for the destination to be used properly, I'm going to use, first of all, I'm going to set it up into one of these hot swappable carrying cases. All right, and the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up to channel 0 and modify sector 0. Sector 0 could be modified in many different ways, through either a vendor-specific utility or through a common utility. I'm going to use a common utility in this sense. Just launch it, go into Tools, User Sector Viewer. We're going to look at the very first sector, and if we look at the last bits here, AA will just be switched to BB, for example. It could be really changed to pretty much any digit, and then write it back to the drive. So this, it says this operation will destroy the data on the drive, but all it's going to do is just is not going to let this drive boot up. So we modified the MBR, go back and power off the unit. So now this is a drive that we're going to use for destination. So instead of taking up an extra channel and imaging channel to channel, we can just put it directly to the motherboard. Slide it in. Now time to work with the patient, and the patient is going to need to be connected to the channel 0, because that's what we're going to use for our source. Terminal probably not necessary, but why not? And power it up. I believe this drive only has bad sector problems, so that's perfect example for disk imaging case, and automatic detection will predetermine which specialized utility it is meant for. Go in, and it's a Ferron 3F, enter the utility, so it reads the service area, gets in, and let's just go back to the main window here, and we're gonna start Data Recovery Tools, Data Explorer. Gonna launch it and create a new task. Gonna create a new task right there and then. Nothing gets modified. So for our source, select source drive device. We're gonna select MRT ATA0. These are the pretty standard initialization techniques. Data copy is to ensure that we're creating a copy, and for our target we are going to use this 2 terabyte drive is what we're going to use. Modify ME, sure. The task head initialized. The very first step is building a head map. Building a head map will allow us to understand which head is in use at all times, and we're going to use a rapid detection method because that's at least going to take 3 minutes as opposed to half an hour. So this is pretty good. I believe still that PC3000 does it a bit quicker, but it's not so bad. I mean, you know, it's already at 8%. So once that is done, every sector that we will try to access will be referenced to which head it belongs to. How is this useful? It's useful in many ways. First of all, we can skip by head. We can deselect and select individual heads to ensure that they're either enabled or disabled. We can also understand what is the condition of individual heads. If we notice any specific patterns that maybe head 0, 1, and 2 read faster, but then head 3 is much slower, so maybe it makes sense to either modify the reading algorithm to suit it better, or just take the head that is slow out of the reading process until the good heads are backed up. All of these kind of tactics build up as you move along, as you learn the tool, as you explore the tool on your own, and you find out what techniques and what specific parameters make your life easier, because there's really no golden rule. There are many ways that a single case can be tackled with great success, either you using one technique or the other. But as I've been working with Data Extractor and Data Explorer tools, I have my own techniques that I apply when I see specific situations occur. And for different situations, the arrangements might be different. They're not necessarily a carbon copy of each other. So in some cases, you want to increase for the amount of time that the tool will spend trying to extract data from the sector. In other cases, you want to decrease that window for access so that the drive does not sit and read for a really long time in problematic areas, but rather skips through them quicker. There are also multiple passes that you can run with building different submaps, etc., etc. Let me just run this here, and you guys can see that with the numbers changing and the sector count, the head that is assigned to also changes. So if we wanted to, let's say, if we saw that head 2 is struggling, we can just turn it off, and what the drive is going to do is it's going to be skipping through that area. Also, if we wanted to modify our reading parameters, we could go into settings and read command. We can set up different commands to read. We can set up different timeout settings and different operations when the troubles occur on the disk, when the drive runs into something that takes longer to read. That's pretty much it. As far as creating a basic task goes and allowing it to run and modify and play with head maps, it's a very first thing that should be learned and kind of be used as a template. The rest will come with time as you build up your experience with the tool. But if you have any specific questions regarding the operation of the tool within, feel free to post them in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. So thank you very much for tuning in again. I am off for the day. I'm heading home. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I hope you guys learned something new today. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel if you have not done that already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.